All right, welcome to Evolution of Wheels. Today, we're not talking about horsepower, we're not talking about 0 to 60 times, we're talking about betrayal. We're talking about a future where the car you bought, the car you make payments on every single month, is programmed from the factory to turn against you. This is the story of the Repo-Robot and how your car is being designed to be your own worst enemy.
Just let that sink in for a second. It's 7 a.m., you grab your coffee, you look out the window, and your car is just gone. No broken glass, no alarm. It just backed out of your driveway, all by itself, and drove away. This isn't a scene from some cyberpunk movie. This is a direct quote from a patent filed by Ford Motor Company. This is the endgame. They are actively developing a car that can repossess itself. And trust me, what it does before it leaves you stranded is so much worse.
So the big question is, why? Why on earth would automakers build something so dystopian? Well, to understand the weapon, you have to understand the war. And the war is being fought over a financial time bomb that's about to go off right in the middle of the global economy. Here's the number that keeps car company CEOs and bank presidents up at night: $1.6 trillion. That is the mountain of auto loan debt here in America. It is an absolutely unprecedented bubble of borrowed money, and frankly, the entire industry is terrified that it's about to pop. Every car they sell is tied to a slice of this debt, and they are desperate to make sure they get their collateral back when people inevitably can't pay. And why is the debt so high? Because the cars are so expensive. The average, not a luxury car, the average new car is now pushing $50,000. That is completely detached from the reality of wages. So what happens? People get pushed into these predatory 6, 7, even 8-year loans just to afford basic transportation. It's a house of cards, and the whole thing is getting really, really shaky. And here's the proof. This chart should terrify you. We are now seeing subprime auto loan delinquencies, that's people with lower credit scores who are missing payments, soar past the levels we saw during the 2008 financial crash. Remember that? The crash that nearly broke the world? Yeah, we're worse off now. So the banks and automakers are in full-blown panic mode. And their solution isn't to make cars more affordable. No. Their solution is to turn your car into a digital prison guard. Okay, so that's the why. Now let's get into the how. Because this Ford patent isn't just about the car driving away. Oh no. It outlines a systematic, escalating campaign of what can only be described as psychological torture, designed to break you long before it ever leaves your driveway. I want you to focus on those words: intentionally disabling features to cause discomfort. This isn't a glitch, this isn't a bug, this is a weaponized feature. The car's own computer is programmed from the factory to deliberately make your life miserable, all because you might be a few days late on a payment. And they've laid it all out. It's a protocol. Step 1, minor annoyances. Imagine it's 100 degrees out, you're stuck in traffic with your kids in the back, and suddenly the car just turns off your air conditioning. Or it's the dead of winter, freezing cold, and it kills your heated seats and windows. The patent literally suggests this. If that doesn't work, we move to step 2, audio torture. The car will start emitting an incessant and unpleasant sound. Think of the most annoying, high-pitched beep you can imagine. Now imagine you can't turn it off. Ever. It's there when you're driving to work, to the store, taking your kids to school. Pure, calculated psychological distress. Still haven't paid? Step 3, geofencing. The car now decides where you're allowed to go. Maybe it'll let you drive to work and back, but that's it. Want to go to the doctor? Sorry, not authorized. And finally, step 4, the full lockout. Your car is now a 4,000-pound brick in your driveway. Let's be crystal clear about what this is. This is a system designed to harass you into submission. It's designed to make your life so unbearable, to make the one place you should feel safe and in control, your own car, into a source of constant stress and anxiety. It's a living nightmare, and it's all spelled out in black and white in a corporate patent application. Now, you might be thinking, this is just a patent. It's not real yet. But you'd be wrong. A much dumber, less sophisticated version of this technology has been used for years. It's called a starter interrupt device, or SID, and it has already had absolutely catastrophic, life-threatening consequences for real people. This story makes my blood boil. A mother in Nevada, she's a few days late on a $60 payment. In the middle of the night, her 6-year-old son has a massive asthma attack. He can't breathe. She scoops him up, runs to the car to rush him to the emergency room, and the car won't start. The lender's automated system, a cold, unfeeling piece of code, detected the late payment and remotely killed the ignition. Are you kidding me? A computer algorithm with zero empathy, zero context, made a decision that could have killed a child over $60? This is the reality of putting banks in control of a car's critical functions. That was just one family in one car. It's horrifying. But now I want you to scale that up. What happens when you apply that same cold, inhuman logic to an entire city? What happens during a natural disaster? Just play this out. A Category 5 hurricane is barreling towards the coast. There's a mandatory evacuation order. You pack your family, your pets, your valuables into your car, and you get on the road trying to flee for your lives. But you're a week late on your car payment. To the algorithm, you're not evacuating. You're a flight risk. You're engaging in unauthorized travel outside your pre-approved Geofence. So what does the algorithm do? It follows its programming. It sends the command, and your car just dies on the side of the highway with a hurricane on the way. The code does not care about a state of emergency. It has one job: protect the bank's asset. And in that moment, you and your family are less important than the car you're sitting in. So far, we've only been talking about what happens when these systems work exactly as the corporation designed them to. But we all know the truth about massive corporate databases and complex software, right? They are always flawed. And when these inevitable glitches happen, the consequences can be just as terrifying. Let's look at the Hertz rental car scandal. This is a perfect, horrifying preview of what's to come. A database glitch in their system started falsely reporting thousands of perfectly legal rental cars as stolen. The result? Hundreds of innocent people, moms, dads, business travelers, were pulled over and arrested at gunpoint by police who thought they were felons. People were thrown in jail, they lost their jobs, their reputations, their lives were ruined. And what was the cause? A tiny little error in the code, a corporate oopsie. Now, take that exact level of corporate incompetence, that same potential for a catastrophic glitch, and give it a remote kill switch to your car. Imagine it's 3 a.m. You're driving through a bad part of town, but somewhere in a server farm 1,000 miles away, a payment you made doesn't register correctly. A single bit of data flips from a 1 to a 0, and suddenly your engine cuts out. Your car rolls to a stop. The doors lock. You're a sitting duck. All because of a banking typo. That is the future we're talking about. And if corporate incompetence wasn't scary enough, there's the final apocalyptic level threat: malicious actors. Hackers. Because by building these remote backdoors into every car on the road, automakers are creating the single largest, most tempting target in the history of cybersecurity. To put this in perspective, just look at the complexity. An F-35 fighter jet, one of the most advanced pieces of technology on Earth, runs on about 25 million lines of code. Your family SUV? It's running on over 100 million lines of code, 4 times the complexity. And every single line is a potential vulnerability. Cybersecurity experts have already proven over and over that they can wirelessly hack into cars and take control of the steering, the brakes, the engine. And now we're building them a dedicated front door to do it. Imagine this. You get in your car to go to work, and this message pops up on your dashboard. This isn't one car. This is a fleet-wide ransomware attack. A teenage hacker in a basement or a hostile foreign government could theoretically gain access to this repo system and brick millions of cars at once. They could demand a ransom not just from you, but from the automaker, from the government. They could shut down our entire transportation infrastructure. The very tool designed to protect the bank's property becomes the weapon that holds us all hostage. So when you put it all together, the financial pressure, the psychological torture patent, the potential for error, the threat of hackers, it all points to one terrifying conclusion. This isn't about repossession anymore. This is about the end of ownership as we know it. This is what people are calling digital feudalism, the idea that you don't actually own that $50,000 vehicle you're making payments on. You're just a subscriber, a digital peasant paying a monthly fee for the privilege of using a tool that is owned and controlled by a corporation, a tool that can at any moment be turned against you. The classic American idea of freedom, of the open road, of a car being your personal property, it's dead. But we don't have to accept this future. We can fight back. We need to demand legislation that bans these remote kill switches and autonomous repo systems. We have to support the right to repair movement, which is all about giving owners, real owners, control over the things they buy. We have to flat out reject this insane idea that a bank has the right to hijack your property and put your life in danger. And most importantly, you have to spread this warning. Tell your friends, tell your family, make sure they know what's coming. So the next time you look at a new car, don't just look at the horsepower or the features. Ask yourself if it's on your side, because we are entering an age where you can no longer assume the answer is yes. This has been Evolution of Wheels. Subscribe for more, because we have to keep fighting this. And remember the new golden rule of the 21st century: never, ever trust a car that can think for itself.